All right, this is episode 5 of Just Start Talking, and today I'm gonna talk about faking it till you make it, because I don't know jack shit, like, actually, about music production. Like, if you were to ask me how I don't know. Like, I don't know anything. I've picked up everything just from my friends that know how to do it, an occasional YouTube video, even though my attention span is never long enough to sit through a whole video, and just playing around, like trial and error, because I have Logic, so I'm just like trying shit, and what works I do and what doesn't I don't. I've never really thought about music production before, like, the last year, so it's just been really it's been really fun to just like do it anyway. Like, I'm just faking, like, when I'm doing it, I'm just like, okay, what would sound good if I was like I don't know, this person's producer, and I just kind of put myself in like the brain of the genre that I'm trying to embody for the specific song, because, like, again, like I said, I am not niche, so when I'm creating and I'm doing like music, especially, like, I don't know, I'm just doing I'm just saying what I want to say on whatever genre comes out, I guess. So I just kind of put myself in the brain of artists that I admire in that genre or in that style, and like how their music is made and like what it sounds like and stuff like that. And also a lot of it is just play, like letting my inner child just like come out and take the fucking wheel and have fun with it. But besides faking it till I make it and putting on that producer hat that I do not have, and is just like picking it up from, like I just said, whatever, from trial and error. But besides that point, it's also just allowing it to suck at first, but like, don't rely on the first thing that you make as like the final product. Also, like, it's okay to make something and then want to scrap that and do it again, or make something and then record something on top of that, or do something else on top of that, and then realize you like parts of this and parts of the old one, and you kind of like snip and make them work together or whatever, or you redo the whole concept so that both of these things can exist together. And I think that goes for like any art piece. I guess, like, again, this is probably common knowledge to a lot of people, but I had a big issue with allowing myself to fail, and to not, like, for something to come out bad before it came out good. Like, in my head, if it wasn't gold when I first started, like, if I didn't have Midas Touch and it wasn't gold, like, when I first touched the camera, or when I first touched the laptop, or whatever, like, that's it. I had to give up on the idea. And I've started to give myself, like, chances to play more with ideas, like, have more fun, go back and forth, like, try something, see if I like it, I don't like it, go back and reverse. And I guess, like, a lot of it has come from just this idea that, if you're trying something, like, if you're doing something, like, you should be good at it. But I don't think I'm ever gonna be 100%. I don't think anyone's ever 100% amazing at anything. I think we're always all learning. And even if you're like new, like, you're obviously not going to be good at it, or if you're experienced, you're gonna have times that you're like, I want to try something new, and you might suck at it at first, and then the only way you find out is by trying. And I guess what's funny is, like, I try to think about the work that I'm doing and like how I'm sharing it, and sometimes I get like nervous that what I share is gonna be like people are gonna be like, oh, she's not that good at what she does or whatever, because I'm sharing like works in progresses, because that's part of my mission, is to show people that it's okay for things to not be good at first, like, part of the brand, I guess, that that's not a good word, the mission that I want to have with the Start Momentum is just like that the process is as important as the finished product, because a lot of what we see in art and in general in life is just finished products, and they're all marketed to us as like these perfect things, and a lot of us grow this fear of failure and trial and error because we're so used to like only seeing finished products and stuff and not really getting to see the come up. And in light of, I guess, like recently, like with Bad Bunny, like a lot of people have been talking about the fact that, you know, now that he was at the Super Bowl and like where he came from 10 years ago. And I think the same thing about Doechii when she started 5 years ago, and or like 6 now, but like that she was doubtful and scared, but like still believing in herself and like doing it anyway, you know, and allowing herself to fail, but also having this belief in herself. And you see her progression as a human in like her weekly post that she was doing on The Artist Way. You see her progression in the way that she talks now, and in how she reflects on like where she came from and what she's done. And I don't know, I guess like it's coming to light more that there is a process, you know. It is not just point A from point B. Not that wasn't known before, but I feel like the end result is just always more glamorized than the journey. And I've been just reflecting on that a lot lately, like enjoying the journey, because, you know, I asked a couple of my friends the other day what superpower they would pick if, you know, you could have any superpower. And a lot of them said teleportation. And I was like, no, I think I would do flying, because I would still get from point A to point B, and I get to have like a nice view. And they were like, well, I just want to be there already. And I was just thinking about like that concept, you know, because I'm sure they didn't all mean it that way, but like the concept of wanting to be somewhere already and like speed up a process. And in that, we feel impatient with traffic, with when we get stalled, with hiccups and obstacles, and all of these things feel like they're holding us back from our potential because we're not at our final destination yet. So we just feel like we're always losing. When you're focused on the end result, and the end result isn't alive yet or hasn't come to fruition, you feel like you're losing. And the people that have made it have fallen in love with the journey and with the effort and grit that they put into themselves, just as much as the success that comes with it. So I guess where I want this message to go is like, fall in love with the journey of failing and finding out, and like not knowing something but being curious anyway. Like, fall in love with that journey as much as you want that ideal version of yourself. As much as you are obsessed with this version you want to become, obsessed with the journey on how you're getting there. Like, be curious about where you currently are. Be present in where you currently are. And like, see all the lessons that you have to pick up from that. See all, like, embrace the failure, because it will only get you closer to who you want to be. Like, it is all part of it. And you realize that when you can like kind of zoom out and just look at your progress as a human overall, no matter what you've done in your life. There's been a point that you were not good at something and now you're better at it, you know? Like, everybody has an example of that. And it doesn't have to be artistic. It doesn't have to be career related. It doesn't have to be, it could literally just be, maybe you just struggled to talk to like anybody and now you're just better. Your social anxiety is better. Or maybe it's that like you used to be really negative and now you're trying to be more positive. Like, it could be simple, but the point is that we have all gotten better at something. So we know that that's possible, right? Like, we know that as a human, we are capable of growth and accomplishment and still feeling proud of ourselves if we allow ourselves to enjoy the process, and also allow ourselves to fail and not be good at something, and then put our head down and learn from that thing instead of being stubborn about, like, you know, because if you fail and you don't try again, you're just being stubborn, man. Like, you're just like, oh, like, nothing works out for me, I failed, like, whatever. Like, you're being stubborn, you're being hard-headed, and you're the only one holding yourself back. Like, nobody feels bad for you, because you're the one that's putting yourself in that spot. Like, and there are people, and if anybody like is like, like ragging on your failure, that's only because they're jealous that you tried in the first place. Because I'm realizing now, like, being a catalyst in people's lives is a lot of mirroring to them. Like, the more that you do what you embody what you want to be, and you do what you love, and you follow your heart, and you're pure and like good and authentic, the more people get pissed off and scared, because like you're actually doing what they're not. And they have a choice when they meet somebody like you, and who is putting in the work and is trying to be a better person. They have the choice to level up and realize, like, okay, if this person is authentically being themselves and they're doing it in such a way and they're still being a positive person, and I'm here and I have their support, or at least they're pushing me to be better, I can either take that as a threat to who I am, or realize that I can just embody that, like, that, become that person I want to be. And that goes, like, sometimes we are afraid to be vulnerable and be like, you know what, yeah, I got defensive at first, or yeah, I acted out of fear at first. And that feels like admitting that we were wrong is like what's scary also. Like, it holds a lot of people back, admitting that you acted out of fear, admitting that you don't know what's going on. Like, these things scare people. Like, vulnerability scares people, but vulnerability to fail and to acknowledge that you failed is the only thing that will get you closer to success, because you have to be okay with everything, and you have to be okay with being yourself through everything, like through good, through bad, through ugly. The same way that you would vow to do that in a marriage, vow that to yourself. Like, love yourself enough as you would love someone else. The things that we love in other people are exemplified version, like things that they embody that we also embody and admire in them. So, like, why can't we just also, as much as we admire other people, admire ourselves and believe in ourselves that much? You know what I mean? There's a lot around, like, I have a lot to say on that topic, because it's just about embodying, like, be what you want, like, be what you want to be. If you want to be a better person, embody that. And that's going to come with the trial and error of letting go of your past beliefs, failing for a little bit, or at least, like, not winning in the ways that you want, being vulnerable. Like, all of these things are going to come with trying to be a better person, with following your dreams. Like, and I think if anything has prepared me for that, like, if any physical, tangible thing has prepared me for that, it was The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, because Julia does such a good job at explaining how you are going to doubt yourself, because we are human. And I think that she does such a good way at explaining that this doubt means you're headed in the right direction. Like, she gives you so much confidence in that, like, the fear, the doubt is just a program, just something that we've been programmed to, and we could equally unprogram that. And I think when someone just gives you that awareness, if you didn't have it, and if you can't see it yet on your own, like, read books, talk to people, and, like, realize that anybody who's ever made it has been vulnerable enough to fail and has allowed themselves to not be good at something. And you know what I mean? Like, just get curious about how to actually follow your heart and your dreams and succeed and be okay with everything. And you start to realize, like, we're all just figuring it out, man. And that comes with that doubt, that these things that we've been conditioned to with your environment, your school, your family, like. And once you start to call your power back to yourself, like, instead of allowing your outside situations affect your life, you realize that the way that you think, the way that you act, the way that you speak about yourself and about other people is what's manifesting more of that into your life. Like, you call your power back, and you make the choice every day to be a better person, or to choose to sit in your misery. But you have to become aware that you have that power at first. And, like, to become aware of that, you have to, like, really understand what it is to be human, which is that we are going to succeed, we are going to fail, we are going to do things that make sense, and we are going to do things that are not going to make sense. We're going to make mistakes. That is all part of the process. There is no one way to get to how we like want to get, and it's not the same for anybody, just like our fingerprints are not the same. Like, we are all unique in our paths, but we always have something to learn from each other and from failure and from life in general. Like, there is nothing more beautiful than being able to pick up things from experience. So just start, like, follow what you want, start that, and then go from there. Let all of it be inspiring to you. Let the discipline, the lack of discipline, the fear, let all of that drive you to be better. Let all of that just be something that you're like, you know what? I see you now, but I do not let you control me. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people, when they come face to face with the awareness of how much fear and anxiety they embody themselves, like, and they continue to put on themselves, they get overwhelmed with how much work it feels like to, like, undo all of that. And they get comfortable again, and, you know, you fall back into feeling bad for yourself and this stuff. And man, you're sending yourself on a cycle. Like, take control, grab life by the fucking balls and be like, you know what? I am in control. I get to choose who I want to be, how I want to come off, like, what impact I want to make on the world, on people around me, what influence I want to have, and also what influences me, like, what I allow to affect my belief in myself. Why am I allowing things to affect other outside factors to affect my belief in myself? Like, why do I have a fear of failure if I'm human? And that is literally part of the fucking job description, to be human. So, like, you know, once you start to just ask questions, be curious, and, like, get to know yourself, be aware of, like, outside factors and, like, things that are in your control, out of your control, things that you give control, just all this shit. Do your fucking research, man. Like, learn how to better yourself and get curious on that. The same way we can sit and scroll for hours, or, like, watch TV and, like, do all these things to, like, distract our brain. Just use that towards, like, something you're curious about. And it doesn't necessarily, like, for me, self-help and self-development is very, like, important. Like, this awareness to me is, like, something I'm very curious about. I think the aspect of psychology in it has always just been, like, something I'm curious about. But, like, just learn things in general. Like, you don't have to go down a deep dive. Just become aware that you have the power. You know what I mean? And then learn. Just get curious. Learn more things. Take a class. Like, I don't know, try something new. If you want to learn how to fucking ride a bike because you don't know how to ride a bike, learn how to ride a bike. Like, do things that, like, learn something new. Learn how to play guitar. Learn how to play the piano. Learn how to cook. Learn, like, I don't know, get curious, guys. And follow your fucking heart. And anyways, love you all. Roll with it. And I'll see you next time.